but good music.
You have to be very happy about World Fighter. How long did it
Yeah,
take this material together?
ah, we were quite slow indeed. It was COVID, and then there was a drummer change, and our previous drummer used to also mix our records, so there was that. So it was like 4.5 years between the releases. We finished World Fighter maybe early February last year.
Okay.
So from the drum recordings, it took about 9-10 months, but there's summer holidays, days and work, and so it was a bit on off at start. Last 2 months, it was all the time that. Songs took quite a bit this time, but sometimes it is, and just have to live with it, and rather than try to force it or something.
Sure, absolutely. I think it paid off for you because it's a great album. Bottom.
Thanks.
I want
Yeah, I
to,
like it myself as well.
I want to ask you, was World Fighter a working title or did the track come first?
It was a working title already a few years ago. Not sure if there was meant to be a like title track for it, but yeah, the title was already. I don't know if it was already during Neon City, because all the records are in the same world, and
Sure.
partially the story goes on. It's not concept, but has similar concepts and themes going through it.
Absolutely. And speaking on that, I wanted to ask you, what are your lyrical inspirations?
Well, it's Jerry who makes them. So it's about the freedom and burning world that we are living in, and
Sure.
yeah, like Neon City, there was the city used to be vibrant, and was glimpses of hope, even though there are some songs about surveillance like Evil Eye, and then in a third one it's full on war, and so forth.
I wanted to ask you as well, in working on the album, were there tracks on a track or two on the album that was extensively hard for you?
Um, my I composed 2 tracks for it. It's usually the solos that are occasionally difficult. Like for Neon City Hardliner solo, the track was very quick, but the solo took, I don't know, months, and I don't know if I'm ever happy with it. But it was like iteration number X, and but the songs, I think they came pretty okay. But then finishing and getting vocal melodies and those right, it's some of them took a bit, but I don't think anything was. The early demos were quite close. Maybe Church of Rock was most. The demo was most different from the final piece, because we didn't have any of the Gregorian chants or many other things. So it was maybe the most basic of them initially.
And also, I wanted to ask you, the album cover is perfect for the material on the album. I wanted to ask you who was responsible for the artwork.
It's a lady from I think Colombia. Her Instagram is called Subhuman. What was it? Illustrations or Subhuman Design. She's done a bunch of at least tour posters for bands like I think Seven Sisters and maybe Enforcer and some US ones. I think she also did the latest cover for Cryptos, the Indian band, and she has quite recognizable style, and has been. I've seen quite a lot of those covers lately, like during COVID and after that, the last few years. Excellent, excellent work.
Yes, absolutely, and it's great for the material on the album. And getting back to the album, I wanted to ask you as well. Is there a certain creative process that the way things progress? Do things start with a riff, a melody idea, and it's just expanded upon from there, and the lyrics come last? Is that like a formula?
Yeah, I think often lyrics come last, but I guess I can speak about my songs, Afterburn and then Against All Odds. So those my things are mostly riff. Starts with the riff, and Against All Odds, I wanted something like Transylvanian Phantom of the Opera from Iron Maiden, and
Yes.
then maybe some Thin Lizzy, and so it was like this image that I want to try something like this, and then it came from that. And most of my songs have been, I have sort of semi-ready demo in decent state, and then I show it to Jerry, and he's usually like, yeah, it's mostly good, change the chorus, it's not catchy enough. So then it's like 3 out of 4 songs I've composed to Ensor have gone that route, and then the next chorus is right. And so that's, and for this record, the Jerry's demos were quite ready when they came to the band practice. So then we, of course, there's a lot of arranging with double guitars and all that stuff. And then vocals, of course, the chorus is usually like we do a bunch of tracks, and then, all right, we should add this and this and this, and then we add more tracks to it. So depending how it sounds and what it feels like that it needs.
I wanted to ask you as well, what's the next step for you, my friend? Will you take to the road?
We are next week we have first show of the year in Helsinki, and that's followed by going first time to Sweden and Norway, and then April Germany, and then we have after that later this year we have one more show in Europe we haven't announced yet. It's a new country, which is always nice to go play to new places. Probably more shows, and then also starting to create new songs. So probably after this spring run is done, we try to gather some new tracks and see what we have.
Speaking on doing new tracks, were there tracks that didn't make the album that you have?
Not really on final form, because some stuff got dropped out in the like idea phase. But we don't do too many. It's hard enough work to do eight feeding tracks. So we try to make the tracks like only finish those that we're gonna use, and then of course some ideas might become relevant next time around. So no, not really.
And I wanted to ask you if you could take me back in time. Tell me how the band became a reality.
It was maybe 2010. Jerry was studying in the same, or I'm not sure if they were in the same school. I think they were in university both with the old guitar player Sylvester Shredder. So they felt like need to play some heavy metal. And then I've been here for about 8 years. I joined a bit after Rebels came out, and initial thing was to play some heavy metal, maybe some festivals, do good music, and then here we are doing some of that.
I wanted to ask you if you could tell me how your musical journey started.
Well, we always had a lot of music at home. and I started. I got Number of the Beast as birthday present when I turned 6. So I've been going hard since that. But the guitar I started playing around 96. I had a friend who I used to listen a lot of metal, and he started playing. So then I was like, of course, I was enjoying these guitar bands and having Slash posters on my bedroom and all that. So self-taught mostly, and then played in some minor bands here and there. But I took a small break, and then I felt like I need to do. I was doing a bunch of festivals as a spectator and fan, and it was like watching the bands, and I'm like, oh fuck, I really need to get something going on. And when I got home from the trip, I saw a posting for the guitar player for Angel Sword, and I was already a fan of the band, so it was like, that's what I have to do.
Yes.
So it worked out.
And along your musical journey, would you say that the release of this album is one of your proudest moments as an artist?
I don't know, Neon City. I guess that's the one of the best things, because it was the first record full length that I got out. But I'm really happy for this, and I think it's a bit better than better than Neon City, and one of those.
Yeah, I think you have to be very proud with the response to the album.
Yeah, it's been good, and it's been great with Dying Victims Productions. They're doing some good stuff, releasing good records, and it's been nice working with them for the year or so.
I wanted to ask you, in speaking on the album, what is the best way to get a physical copy of the album and any merchandise that you have?
In Europe, from us, or maybe Dying Victims. And then not sure if you go to the States side across the pond. Dying Victims have some presence on distros there, I think, but not sure what is the place. For shirts, I think we are the only ones that. So our Bandcamp is good for that.
Oh yes, absolutely.
We should have also some new shirts coming up this month or so. So let's see.
And is there a plan to release show?
Sorry?
Is there a plan to release show?
For the album, or?
Yes.
Yeah, we had already last summer, kinda. In Helsinki, we did 4 Finnish gigs or so. So that was kind of the first one, and then now this year we're more going abroad and bringing the stuff abroad. So next week we're gonna try some bit different songs, and then see what we take to the gigs in Sweden and Norway.
And lastly, I wanted to ask you, my friend, if you could give a message to your fans, what would that message be?
Fans, listen to music, share it, enjoy it, listen to some other good stuff as well. Come to the shows if they are even remotely close. And if you want to see us close to your place, then if you know any promoters or clubs or anything, do contact them. And I think that's the way to get to some more far countries. We'd love to play US, for example, but we'd probably need some festivals there, and then a few shows around that or something. If the current visa situation is not the best, but can be doable, I guess.
You can't play after they take your arms away trying to get the visa, right?
Yeah, and it's I think last spring they hiked the price. Was it 400% or it's expensive, and then if one person doesn't get it, then it like the rest are sort of in vain.
Sure.
So it's big investment.
I wanted to thank.
But hopefully in few years or within few years we can come, because this US has a lot of fans, and that would be, it's like one of the dream things to play there as well.
Yeah, and the scene is very rich right now. All the clubs in my area are open back up. A lot of them had to close during COVID because, you know, the economic struggle of making a payment and you're not getting anybody in the house. So
Yeah,
everything's finally turning around and the clubs are very active again here.
that's good to hear. How's the metal scene there in general?
Great. In interviews, a lot of bands I interview are astonished that there's no pop clubs, there's no metal and rock. Pretty much is everywhere around me. Every hall, that's what they have. So
Sounds good. Sounds
well, I
good.
want to thank you, my friend, for taking time to speak with me and for creating an album
No
that I
problem.
enjoyed from top to bottom. Your music is very immersive, and I love the overlying themes from song to song. I think it's a great work, and I look forward to what lies ahead for you, my friend.
Yeah, let's see where we continue from this. The world is gone, but we aren't yet. So thanks. The last one went for mute. I couldn't hear the last thing, but
Great afternoon, my friend.
thanks and have a nice day.
You too. Cheers.